Now you talked a lot about your sound, and I want to know, how has your sound evolved over the years? Because I know you talked about some authenticity when it came to beats and certain dynamics that you use with your drums and different things like that. So, do you feel like your sound is ever evolving, or do you feel like your sound is just your flavor and that's what it is? Let's talk about it.
No, no, I would say it's definitely evolving. And shout out to my guy Keys in the room. He's another dope producer. Y'all might want to definitely interview my guy. But I gotta shout him out because producers like him that I know that plays keys, like they play, it made me want to step my game up. You know what I'm saying? Like it made me want to learn more about structure and you know what I mean. So now I started out as a sample producer. Like that was like my main thing. Like I love sampling. I love sampling. But then I wanted to now be original. You know what I'm saying? So I've been working on more so just my own sound and creating original tracks because whenever you try to get into things like sync and things like that, they don't want nothing that you don't own. You know what I mean? They don't want no sounds that they got to go through somebody else. So challenging myself to, you know what I mean? I'm not no expert keyboard player. I'm actually still taking piano lessons now, and trying to enhance that part of my production because my ear, um, I learned by hearing. You know what I mean? And so once I was able to kind of just started to create my own tracks and own sounds and don't have to sample anymore. I'm just gonna get better with time. Like I'm already dope now. I'm just gonna get doper. Once I start utilizing and adding more of music theory and stuff into my music and using live sounds. Like I want to learn how to play the bass and different things like that, so I can, be a one man band. So once I get and continue to, learn from other people in that area, it's all it's gonna do is just make me a doper producer.
Period. And I definitely agree with you there. So my next question was, I'm just going to tell you what it was. I'm not going to ask it for you because you just answered it, but it was, what do you think separates a good producer from a great one? So that being said, you just answered it for me. So instead of asking that, I'm going to ask you the next question. Are you ready?
Let go.
Gotta dive a little bit deeper. What are some key milestones in your career that you yourself are most proud of? Not that other people told you they were proud of you, that you yourself are most proud of. Let's talk about it. Period.
Sheesh. I would say, me myself in this streaming era, being responsible for over 1 million streams. That would be one of my key highlights. I think that's extremely difficult in today's time with so much music that's out here and people have so many choices to choose from. So I would say being able to just for me and my production for artists and then my beat tapes, to be like over 1 million streams on those. I think that's a personal milestone for me. That I'm responsible for that many people listening to my music, and so I think that's one of my key highlights right now.
Period, period, period. Thank you for answering. Now I'm going to ask you a few more questions and then I'm going to see if anyone on stage wants to ask a question. Before I do so, is anyone out there listening in wanting to ask Mr. Rothstein Beats any questions? Simply unmute your mic and go ahead and ask. The floor is always open for you and you don't have to wait. Not right now? Okay. Just wanted to check in really quickly. So, um, I know I asked you earlier, have you ever had a session that completely changed the way you approach production? And also, we talked about producers and influencing and how you have your own style. But I still want to ask you that general question because I want to know, even growing up, you said your family had a lot of parties, different things of that nature. Are there any artists out there in the ethers that influence your sound at all? Let's talk about it.
Yeah, definitely. Especially in my early part of my career, I was like I said, I was doing a lot of samples. So RZA, DJ Premier, Bink, Kanye, um, Q-Tip, man, Diamond D. I can name a bunch of producers. Bucks. I mean, there's so many producers that I just love how they kind of cooked up. And I didn't know why I love the music, but now that I'm like older and I kind of understand, it was just literally like it was just different on how they approach music compared to other people. So I loved how people chopped up certain samples, how they did certain things. Sometimes they use two or three different samples from three different records and then put it all into one and made it work. Like once I started like seeing all those type of producers, they influenced me to, you know what I'm saying, like approach sampling a certain kind of way. So I definitely was, I mean, Wu Tang, hey, like I mean, I'm listening to Wu Tang, Biggie, I'm listening to all these people growing up. Outkast was another influence. Man, Beats by the Pound with Master P back in the day. You know what I mean? Like all these records that I listened to over the years, I felt like helped me because I was able to see these sounds like resonated with me. So when I'm producing and I hear something, I want to make sure it kind of resonate the same way those songs are. And a lot, and it's been working. It's been translating. Like if it sounds good to me, then it has been working for other people. Other people have liked it as well. So, and not saying I liked every beat that I made, you know what I mean, but the ones that I'm definitely proud of, I'm like, yo, other people liked it as well. So yeah, I think just having those influences at an early age.
Definitely, definitely loved it. Thank you so much for answering. Miss Mother, do you mind if I ask two more questions before I pass it back to you? And also to the stage. Do you mind?
Yeah, no, go ahead, girl.
All right, period. Okay, so I definitely want to know, what do you think of AI? I know someone asked you earlier and technology, but I want to ask you, what do you think the technology will do to the effectiveness, authenticity, and intentionality that you spoke so highly of this evening to producers? Let's talk about that aspect of AI. Let's go.
Nah, that's a great question. Now I don't hate on AI, but I kind of hate on AI, if that makes sense, because um I feel as though like that once you kind of like pull the human experience out of it, it's soulless. Like I don't know if y'all ever listen to AI, but I feel like it just doesn't hit the same way. You know what I'm saying? Now, don't get me wrong, AI can create some amazing. I've seen some people do some amazing things. For example, the BBL Drizzy record. You know what I'm saying? Like that was a big time record. Shout out to King Wilonius. That was a big record with AI. You know what I'm saying? But I feel as though that the other AI stuff that I kind of been hearing, it just is not going to stick around, or is not people's not really going to gravitate to it. So as long as you use the AI as like a tool and don't use it as the main thing, and what I mean by that is if you already got like your own drums and kicks and pianos and different stuff, and then you just have AI create like a string section for you or something, then yeah, that's one thing. But if you just have the AI do the whole beat for you and you had no input, you didn't put none of your, personal touches on it or anything like that, or then I would say it's not gonna hit. It's not gonna hit the same way because it's. I feel like whenever you do it on a beat machine and or you do it on a certain programs, you are the one in control. But if you let AI do it, it just to me just doesn't seem like what I mean. It sounds artificial. It's kind of like you eating a home cooked meal versus something from McDonald's. Even though you ain't gonna be hungry, but it's still not gonna taste as good, pause, or you know what I'm saying, or satisfy you like your mama home cooking. So that's kind of how I compare AI to real life.
Period. Thank you for answering that question. I know that one was a little more complex. And I got one more for you, and I'm gonna pass it back to the